Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you calling from?
India.
Right. Are you a Hindu?
Yes.
Okay. You have anything to say with regards to the Navratri festival?
Yeah. So basically, I was listening to the previous conversation, and I feel like so Hinduism is an umbrella term, right? When you say you're a Hindu and Hindus celebrate this and that, Hinduism is an umbrella term. It has like multiple schools of thought in it,
Yeah.
right? You agree with that?
Yeah.
Not all schools of thought kind of agree with each other. They have a different perspective of how God is and different culture and things. Of course, one thing becomes popular and is celebrated throughout. Nobody thinks when they celebrate Navratri from which school of thought it comes from, because it's been thousands of years, maybe hundreds of years, it's been celebrated. So we don't think like which school of thought. Like for example, I try to follow the Bhakti mark, right?
Yeah.
So, but if I celebrate Navratri, which is not a part of Bhakti mark, I won't question it because that's a cultural thing now instead of religious thing, right? Though you can find it in Purans, some sort of Purans, the mention of Devi and whatever. But for us, it's more of a cultural thing. And then we try to find meaning in it. So that's why people follow something and they might not agree with the complete like source of it, where it comes from, but it's a cultural thing. I hope it makes sense.
Do you chant mantras in during the Navratri? Do you chant mantras or not?
So since I'm from Bhakti sect, I
don't think he celebrates Navratri, Sheikh.
But Bhakti can mean a devotion to any god. The word Bhakti, it means devotion. It can mean to any god. So why are you saying Bhakti? Yeah, oh goddess. So why are you saying Bhakti? So I don't. It may be that a person is devoted and has Bhakti for the goddess.
When you say any, you actually mean any. You can't single out like one god or goddess for which you should have Bhakti, right? Bhakti can also mean Bhakti for one god, which is Brahman, you can say, which is a part of Advait actually. So it doesn't mean like you have to do Bhakti of one particular goddess.
Okay,
but
so
yes, you're
let me
correct
get
in
this
that
right.
sense.
Dil, are you saying you don't celebrate Navratri? Is that what you're saying?
So like I think Sheikh asked me like whether you chant mantras. I don't chant mantras. So I keep fasting.
Do you celebrate Navratri at all or you don't?
What? At all. So I do celebrate. I do the fasting bit.
So you do fasting, you don't do the feasting and dancing. Why is that? That's a fun part.
So it depends upon I think Navratri is a very cultural festival in West Bengal. So people do that there. But I'm not from West Bengal, so
no, Navratri is celebrated in East and the West. So if you go to Maharashtra, Gujarat, the Navratri is pretty big festival over there. What are you on about?
It is pretty just like Diwali, and it's pretty big.
No, but why are you saying it's only in the West Bengal? Why did you say that?
Listen, I didn't say only word. I said it is more cultural and more bigger festival in West Bengal. You can search it if you want. It's a traditional cultural.
It is also
thing
a big
in West
festival
Bengal.
in Maharashtra and Gujarat.
And in Bengal, when they celebrate it, they eat fish and meat also during these 9 days.
Not bigger than West Bengal. I'm just saying relatively. I'm not.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So you see,
as long as they celebrate it, that's important.
It's irrelevant because it's celebrated all over. Now what you said. You said you just do the fasting. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people just do the fasting.
Yeah, but that's actually a way of celebration, isn't it?
It's a worship, basically.
Yes,
it's not way. Yeah, these are just words, semantics, which I'm not expert at.
Semantics, they have got meanings. They have got meanings.
Exactly.
Do you follow the Advait philosophy? Is that the reason you are saying all this?
How?
Do you follow the Advaita philosophy?
What I said that made you think that I follow Advait.
I'm asking you,
what do you mean by all this?
Philosophy or you don't?
I already told you I follow the Bhakti sect.
Okay, when you say Bhakti, whose Bhakt are you?
So I'm a Bhakt of one God.
Which is?
Right. So one God, which is Brahman, which is everywhere.
There you go. That's very much Advaita.
That's very much Advaita.
You know that Brahman is not actually worshipped anywhere in India.
I know that.
So why are you Bhakt of Brahman when nobody else worships it?
His manifestations are worshipped like the gods and goddesses.
So in Bhakti sect, in bhakti sect, there's a difference between all the sects and their methodology. So if you get confused with it, it's different things. So in bhakti sect, you can worship God in your form you choose. So some people can choose any Devi. Some people can choose Shiv.
Which form do you choose to worship?
Which Devi?
I choose the formless one.
Yeah,
which one?
Formless one doesn't have a form.
That's what I'm saying. You can do worship of a formless one.
Okay.
What's wrong in that?
I honestly don't know. Okay, so what is the point of you joining the stream today? It's about Navratri. What are you bringing on the table for us to learn about Navratri from your philosophy?
So from my philosophy, I already told you one point, like
my understanding. Sorry, Dale. My understanding, Hashim, is that there are 9 forms.
No, hold on, Sheikh. I just want to know his philosophy, because it looks like it's very unorthodox, if you ask me. So, what is your what is it you're bringing on the table today to the discussion?
So I wanted to bring on the table like significance of Navratri, like how things start with something, but then it becomes cultural thing. For example, when I celebrate it as a cultural thing rather than more of a religious thing. So that's very common. Like when for example, Hinduism, which is umbrella term, has a lot of these different sects within it, different schools of thought coexisting for thousands of years, right? And they celebrate their own rituals and functions. So some way, like some of them get more popular than others, and Navratri is one of them. So when you see a lot of people celebrating Navratri, that cannot be implied that everybody is like follows that particular Puran or something.
Okay. Do you think Ram was worshipping Devi Durga?
I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea about it. I have seen Ramayana. I have read thing, but I haven't heard that bit.
So which primary text of Hinduism do you actually follow?
Gita.
You follow Gita. Okay. Do you worship Krishna?
I worship Krishna. You can say that.
What do you mean? I can say that. Do you follow Krishna or not?
So I try to follow Krishna, but then again, I have some doubts. So
you have doubts
now
in
Gita? I'm kind of no doubts in Gita, but my own knowledge of it.
Have you actually read the Gita where he says to worship him?
Yeah, he said like he's the one above all. Yeah, I've seen that, but I haven't read whole Gita.
You follow Gita, but you don't adhere to its content, which is to worship Krishna. It's quite bizarre. Are you even a Hindu?
Oh, I am a Hindu, yes. So I already told you Hinduism.
When you follow the Bhagavad Gita, what do you mean by that?
This brings me to another point, which you said, like a lot of Hindus said, like they are seeker and they're lying. You said. So this is what you said, like they are lying when they say seeker.
You have already said that you follow the Bhagavad Gita. I'm assuming when you follow the Bhagavad Gita, wait, listen to the question. I'm assuming if you follow the Bhagavad Gita, you worship Krishna. It's a given. It's like me following the Quran, where Allah says very clearly in the Quran to worship Him alone. Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says to worship Krishna alone. And doesn't matter which gods you believe in, ultimately you're worshiping Krishna.
Now, if you let me complete now, right, before you interrupt me. So like you said, like when someone says they are seeker from India or somewhere, they're lying so that you don't question them, right? So that's not true. The reason is...
Why are you going off tangent? Answer the question I asked you.
Listen, at least let me complete. I didn't interrupt you, right? Why?
You're a joker.
Exactly. He's saying he follows the Bhagavad Gita and he doesn't worship Krishna. I had to literally squeeze it out of him.